morning and welcome back. Hopefully you have attended previous sessions. This session really is just designed to be an open Q&A so we can assist you with any specific questions that you may have. My name is Lori Lawton. I'm a State Purchasing Officer and a member of the BidBuy team. And we're joined here by Dave Luttrell, who's an acting State Purchasing Officer and a procurement specialist who manages our small business program, as well as being very active on the vendor side of the BidBuy system. So we are here and available for any questions you have. As usual, you can enter your questions in through the GoToWebinar interface. And we see a question has started already, which is great. And just continue submitting any questions that you may have to us.
Okay, so our first question we have here is there a direct contact for support that can be provided if we have a problem, contact number or email address of something? I believe you have some sort of help section, but sometimes you just need to deal with a person. And that is absolutely correct. We do have a vendor help desk, which is an email as well as a phone number. Sorry, let me go to, you can go to the, so this is the BidBuy homepage. If you have the help desk, contact information is, if you go to click there, you have the BidBuy resources for vendors. This takes you back to that Pathways Procurement site. Some of this may be very familiar to you. I thought the contact information was on this site right there. Let me go back.
It should be on that main page.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is right here. So yes, on the main page, directly above the login, you have for assistance, contact the BidBuy help desk by email or by phone. So there is a team of people that if you get a voicemail, it means because they're on the other line helping another vendor. So leave a message and they will get back with you. So here's your hours of operation there.
Okay, well, the question lines are open, so we will keep that line open and see if there are any additional questions. Well, I'm not seeing any questions come in this morning. One of the things we might want to do, Dave, is go out to the BidBuy production site, the live site.
Sure.
And I know there have been a few questions about searching for open bids, and it might be helpful to just take a quick look at what's out there.
So you see here where some of the colors have changed. This is blue. And it doesn't have train all over. Once you get down in here into the, and we touched base, or talked about this a little bit in a couple previous sessions, but here you would register. If you had started a registration and stopped, you come back and complete the registration here. The open bids, I'm going to click on that. That is essentially, if you are not, it's the equivalent of the Illinois Procurement Bulletin. Now, if you're not signed in, you can go out and see all the open bids. Here's all you could actually go through here and search through different types there, or you could just click all. So at this point, of course, this is as agencies are transitioning into the system, eventually you're going to see a lot more here. These are only open ones that we have out there right now, but you can go in there and select each individual one. Now, what it's going to do, if you do click on it, if you had not acknowledged, you'll have to go back in, and it's just telling you to log in. And we talked about this page in a previous session as well, but just wanted to show you that this is out here in the production environment now as well. You can click on it to to see it. And here's all the information that you would need. But in order to respond, you would certainly have to go back in and log in. Okay, a couple other questions here. How soon will BidBuy be the only system? So the timeline is a number of agencies just went live at the beginning of January. Another wave of agencies will be going live in the middle of March. And then by July 1st, all procurement activity for the Chief Procurement Office of General Services will be done within BidBuy. So that's kind of our timeline. And then there will be cross postings put out on the Illinois Procurement Bulletin that will essentially be pointing you back to the BidBuy system. And that will be going on for a little while, but like I said, July 1st, 2018 is going to be the hard stop, and all procurement activity will be done within the BidBuy system. When will training number 3 recording be up on the website?
We do expect that this week. We have sent that over for posting, and so we expect it to be this week.
Okay. Another question, how long will these webinars remain posted once we've gone through the entire series? So just to give you everyone an overview, we will have those posted probably indefinitely. They'll just be out there on that page. We really don't foresee a time where we would pull those down, because as we have new vendors enter the system, they'll always want to be able to have that resource. Also, just a reminder, if you weren't aware, we will continue. We've gone through these the sessions 1 through 5 now. The template portion of the training will be done next week, and then we're going to start again. So we'll start back at number 1, go through all those again until a point arises where we are seeing the engagement from the vendor community. And those recordings will always still be out there, but we want to be able to provide the live webinars in order for you to answer questions and for some of those newer folks that didn't get a chance to go through the first sessions. Okay, another question. How do I start the process in Illinois Procurement Bulletin to obtain the various bid documents, or is this in BidBuy? Like I said, there will be those cross postings where you will be notified via BidBuy as well as the Illinois Procurement Bulletin. But if the agency that you are doing business with is live in BidBuy, all of that activity will be done within BidBuy. So you would obtain those bid documents within the BidBuy system. You may be notified by the IPB, but they will just be pointing you, that information will just be saying, hey, you have a solicitation opportunity within the BidBuy system, so all your documents will be in BidBuy.
Right, so, and as Dave said, you know, with the timeline that we have for going live, in the short term, at least, you want to remain registered and active in both systems, so both the Bulletin and BidBuy, because as agencies go live in BidBuy, you will expect to see those solicitations posted out in BidBuy, but there may also be solicitations in the IPB for agencies that are not live that you're still interested in.
Great point. How do I also obtain the rates to use to be competitive to win the bid? Obtaining the rates, I mean, that will be really just a business decision on your end. There's really no way to see, you know, other rates, but if it's something that the state has procured, I mean, there is a functionality that you can always go and see what the winning bid was. That is public information, so that is something that you could go back and look at similar solicitations that might give you an idea, but at the same time, there's no, you know, each procurement is going to be different and new, so there's no specific way to obtain rates. Have vendors been instructed to QA, QC their contracts loaded in the BidBuy system?
No, at this point, that is a state-side responsibility, so it is the state who is loading all of those contracts into the system, and that is being done by the state.
Okay, another question. Where can I go to verify that our NIGP code for our business is correct? So if you go out to, okay, yeah, I'll go back to the training environment to show this. If you log in here with my vendor account. Oh, of course, it's going to make me change it. Okay, so this looks very familiar, right? This is our home screen. You can go and see this NIGP code browse up here is just a search functionality. So you can always go in and drill down. You can use your NIGP keyword. You can search a couple different ways through here, or you can drill down here to just search for specific NIGP codes. And then within your seller administrator account, so if you're just a seller, you won't have access to this information. You'll need to contact your seller administrator. But within your seller administrator, this is how you'll manage your accounts and you would add your NIGP codes within the seller administrator role.
And you see go back.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe just hit the back button. There we go. Yeah, maintain commodity codes and services. Maintain commodity codes. And so right there you can deactivate selected commodity codes, add additional codes, or you can just go check them, and if you're satisfied, you can just cancel out of here and exit. But that is how the seller administrator would update the codes.
And just to add on there, if you had deactivated and you wanted to reactivate, they would display here your inactive codes. You could always go back in and just activate them, so you wouldn't have to go back and re-add them as well. Okay, good question there. Let's see. Is there a place in BidBuy or the bulletin where you can see future procurements? No, there is no functionality for that. Once the bid goes out and there is the solicitation goes out, that's the only time that you would be able to see when the procurement is available. There's no functionality for possible future procurements. Great questions so far. Keep them coming.
Okay, so we're not seeing anything, but we will continue to keep the line open for any additional questions. Okay, we have a couple of more questions, or maybe that's, yeah, a couple more questions that came through.
Can you search past procurements using your NIGP code in order to give you an idea of what has been out there in your field previously?
So I think if you go out, Dave, to the home screen in Train and go into your seller role, remember seller administrators and sellers see a couple of different things. And if you go into bids, you can see the open bids, open and enrolling bids, and then closed bids. So you can go and look at the history of bids related to your NIGP codes there. And then back out to the home screen. If you go into your purchase orders, you will see the purchase orders, change orders, and your purchase orders that you have acknowledged. So I think those will be the two resources that you will see, and then, you know, to look historically. And then if you come on over to quotes, you'll see on that tab there are a variety of sub-tabs. So we have the informal, the working, those that were submitted, and then revisions and withdrawn. So that's where you will find, as a seller, the various, the access that you have to the historical documents that you have. But yes, the intent is to make historical documents available in the system.
You may have shown this in a previous training. Our company mostly is a subcontractor. Please show us how we can publish ourselves as a subcontractor in BidBuy. You would just be registered. There's not a specific prime versus a subcontractor within BidBuy. You were just registered within BidBuy. Now, if you are registered in the Illinois Procurement Gateway, that's where there was a functionality where you'd be registering as a prime or a sub, or as a prime and sub. And that might have prompted this question as well, but you wouldn't be specifically, you know, deemed just a subcontractor within the BidBuy system. You're just registered in BidBuy, and you can do business that way. Do you have bids specifically geared towards minority business owners? So there are instances where the state procures, they have BEP goals, and that is a functionality. And the BidBuy system has an interface with the CMS BEP, and you will see that on certain, within the solicitation documents of each one. So for instance, there's an RFP that goes out and is published within BidBuy. You will see that there is a BEP goal on that, and that will be within the solicitation document. So you might have to do a little digging, but there isn't one specifically where on the home screen that will, you know, for instance, be starred as this is geared towards minority business owners. I hope that's enough information there, but that those BEP goals will be within the solicitation documents.
And Dave, let's go out to the home page. I wanted to show some search functionality. So log out.
Oh, like the road, yeah. Need to get to that button there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and so, you know, no one has to be logged in to go ahead and do that contract and bid search to look for those bids. So down here in that section of functionality, if you click on bids, you'll see there at the very bottom, there is search functionality right off of the main page where you can look specifically for contracts that have BEP or VBP goals. So you can just go in there. This is our training environment, so it may not be reflected, you know, it's definitely not reflective. This is a lot of training activity, but if you go ahead and click find it, you'll see that any bid opportunity that has a BEP goal will be listed when you use that search functionality right off of the main screen. Okay, we're keeping the phone line open, or the question line open for just another couple of minutes to see if you have any other questions. Again, thank you for attending this morning. We don't have any other questions coming in at this time, but please make sure that you join us and check back often for our updated schedule of vendor training programs. We will continue to provide all of the sessions, as Dave was saying, and we will be repeating these sessions. We'll be posting out the recordings, so go out often to Pathway to Procurement, and you'll be able to see those updated items and the recordings. And any session that we're offering, you're welcome to ask us any question. We will focus on a particular topic, but we'll take all questions during any of our sessions. So we look forward to seeing you again at a future event. And again, thank you. Please stay warm.